After Doha's smooth starter, Spain's main course was positively flambé. A good grilling all around, and a few burnt fingers. And so, on to Norway. We're in Arendal, as pleasing to the eye as any on the planet. Hordes of spectators, all-day partying, and a passion for anything that floats. 70% of the population own a boat, and for the pictures, you might be forgiven for thinking they're all here. It's the fourth round of the OAM Class-1 World Powerboat Championship in a town that already boasts a unique maritime history. Once the hub of Norway's great export industries, but with a booming economy courtesy of North Sea treasures, concentrating these days on an endless stream of visitors. And what do you say about the welcome for the world's biggest powerboat tour? What has been going on here in the last couple of days is really quite astounding. A fabulous reception moulded into one mammoth celebration. An estimated gathering of 150,000 assembled to witness the return of Class 1 to the town. And they won't have to wait long while the canapé and champagne flow freely on in hospitality. With less than 10 minutes to go before the start of the Grand Prix, there's a nervous air up at the sharp end. As with Garucha 4 weeks ago, this will be no easy ride. Apprehension is evident all along the pit lane. And maybe this is why the organisers coming up with a circuit that could become to Class 1 what Monaco is to Formula 1.
You take your odds, you say, OK, the weather's been like this for 2 days, it looks like it's settling, this is the weather forecast, and you make your decision on, the testing you've done during the week.
Kurt is cool as always, but these are the facts. 10 5-ton racing machines, each 2,000 horsepower, and on the tighter sections of this track, the small matter of boats coming at you in the opposite direction, closing speed in excess of 500 kilometers an hour, and no brakes. One pretty good reason why the atmosphere in and around the wet pit is more uneasy than normal. This is the lineup for the championship fourth round, pretty much as you were in round 3. But the arrival of Pertti Lepala, ex-Formula 1 boat driver, adding a little extra spice, and Norwegian teams especially strong, as well as championship leaders Spirit of Norway, Paul Nilsen, 711, and Christian Zaborowski, Jorn Tandberg Yachten, assures colossal local support. This is how they qualified yesterday, and with a split start grid for the first time, a new significance. Finishing on the front row, or top 5 as it is, absolutely paramount. So after Qatar 95's 4 minutes 27.70 seconds over the 13.6 kilometre circuit, King of Shaves are the pick of the early runners, shaving it by over 4 seconds at an average speed of 195.70 kilometres an hour. It sets up a nail-biting finale. While second in the championship, Qatar 96 are frantically trying to change a supercharger belt in record time, the other favourites are falling short of the target. Victory 77 can only manage 4 minutes 26.09. Yachten, 4 minutes 29.23. Roscioli, Foresti, Suardi blow an engine. And when Qatar 96 eventually managed to join in, they're only 6th fastest. And that is later rescinded because they've missed their slot. So, it comes down to Spirit of Norway, 30 times pole position winners to try and beat King of Shaves, 0-time winners for the honour of top slot in the Grand Prix. First of their 2 laps, not good enough, 4 minutes 25.93. But with crew Yelsten and Curtis winding up the Lamborghini engines, Norway are still on the case. For King of Shaves' crew, Parsons and Shepherd, the 4 minutes of tension is unbearable. A first win in any competition at this level is so special. Around the final bend, it's close. But it's not that close. 4 minutes 25.34 isn't good enough. And King of Shaves celebrate their biggest achievement so far.
We get it?
What does that say about King of Shaves' team?
Well, we're a great team, aren't we? We're a team. We have fun and we go out and, but we push hard and we got to. It's a great bit of fun, It's been a great day today.
First British team in 14 years to be on top of pole position. It's absolutely fantastic, but that was one scorching lap. 4 seconds in between our first lap and second lap. It all just hung together. Chris did a fantastic job at balancing the boat. It just all came together on the day.
So, as the thousands of spectator boats continue to stream in, the hot favourites must start from second favourites must start from last, while one of the new forces of Class 1 sit proudly on the pinnacle. Back live, and as the seconds tick by, while some prepare, it's time for us to have a quick word with someone for whom today is very special. Pretty proud to be a Norwegian today with this fantastic event.
Yeah, of course, I'm very proud, and this is so exciting for me, and been my goal for 14 years. So it's like a dream.
You're not going to tell me there are any more problems, are you?
I hope not. So far, so good. We've tested. We did about 4 laps today, and things looked good. And hopefully, we'll stay like this till the end of the race.
Where is your role today?
We need to stay in the front. It's a very tight race course. We are in top 5, so we'll be the first group, and we'll shoot to the first turning buoy, and hopefully we can control the field right from the beginning.
How about 77? Looking in good shape?
Yeah, the two guys are very happy. I think they feel comfortable in the boat. So when you feel good, you can push also more than what you used to.
Can 77 win this race?
I hope so, strongly.
But that's it. Final meditation. The waiting is over. It's now time to take on what many regard as the world's most extreme power sport. Welcome back to Arendal with the 4th Grand Prix of the 2006 UIM Class 1 World Powerboat Championship ready for ignition. A simply fabulous occasion. Unbelievable crowds. Everything that floats is deployed. Every inch of viewing space all around the circuit crammed with eager fans, and a Grand Prix packed with promise. The enormity of this occasion difficult to describe. Weather very warm, little overcast, and the rolling start is ready. Yellow and red start boat brings the front row into line. On board there, Spirit of Norway. This is Qatar 95 grid 4th, picking up the power. We're going, waiting for green, and there it is!
Brilliant start. My way of it.
Parsonage and Shepherd happy with that as they pass under the road bridge and down the 4-kilometre first straight. Riding with Qatar 95. 180 kilometres an hour already. Victory 77 on their left. The view from the first turn, which they now approach at around 200 feet a second. Not a great deal of time in which to decide your tactics, and not a great deal of space either by the look of it. Widely predicted, whoever leads at 10 kilometres would dictate the entire Grand Prix on the narrowest circuit on the tour. King of Shaves near side leads from Spirit of Norway and Victory 77 almost together. Then it's Qatar 95 riding again with them. Jotun, red boat far side moving up as Spirit of Norway edge ahead of King of Shaves. And this is a sustained effort here from Jotun, still moving up. In fact, that's superb! Spirit of Norway have slid away from King of Shaves, Victory 77 and Qatar 95, but not Zaborowski and Tanberg in Jotun. Head-to-head down the fjord, Norway's finest hitting their peak early. 250 kilometres an hour is quite magnificent. Victory 77 4th, King of Shaves 3rd, Spirit of Norway 2nd, but it's Jotun in the lead. And sustaining it. First sector time 53 seconds against Spirit of Norway 54. Lead just 1 second, but still pulling away with 8 of the 160 kilometres completed. What a start by Norway's number 2 team. Tamberg on throttles, Zaborowski on the steering wheel. The gap between them and second place Spirit of Norway increasing all the time. King of Shades in the wake there as Spirit of Norway remain third. Victory 77 fourth. This is the battle for fifth. Qatar 96 far side, 95 near side. Behind them, Victory 7 close up in seventh. Shekasan and Matteo Nicolini starting from the back of the grid, following that broken supercharger belt in pole position, remember. Impressive stuff here as they continue to challenge for fifth. Second in the championship overnight. They cannot afford to drop too many points. Bad of place dropped here. Foresti, Sawardi, Roscioli, number 8, moving cleanly and swiftly ahead of Victory 7. Qatar 95 slip away again from 96, who drift a little wide. That's the position at the island as they turn for home. Foresti, Sawardi gaining ground rapidly after also starting from the back. That's tight, riding with them as they now start to reel in 96. Very good sectors for both boats, and a battle you sense about here to commence. Gianpaolo Montevocchi and Domenico Turilli, number 8, tails up, fresh from that magnificent second place in the previous round at Garucha. Now applying the pressure to the high-flying Qatar team, for whom, back home 2006 is the expected year of deliverance for the world title. It's tight, side by side after 10 kilometres. A critical moment here for both teams. Hassan and Nicolini reluctant to give any more away in what has been a frustrating weekend for them. Montevocchi and Turilli, on the other hand, in a desperate quest for every point to bolster their bid at the title. Both flat out here at about 260 kilometres an hour. End of lap coming up. And Nicolini here has found an extra touch of grunt from the mammoth Mercruisers to get himself and Shekasan to the mark ahead of Foresti. Sawardi! And that was close. Clipping the boy as they enter the home turn to make their way back towards the bridge. Victory 7 remain in 8th. The gap between them and Montevocchi, just about 2-3 seconds. Montevocchi there, lucky escape running over the boy as a penalty lap, an extra penalty lap. This is how it is overall. Zaborowski and Tamberg continue in their pursuit of a first Class 1 victory ahead of Spirit of Norway, King of Shaves, Victory 77 and Qatar 96. And there is Paul Erik Nilsson, off the pace in 9th. 5 kilometres ahead then. Jotun, the dream continues. Lead now an impressive 8.01 seconds over Spirit of Norway at the 18-kilometre mark. And they are very good value for it.
Power, 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 power. Power, keep full power. All right, keep it going, keep it going.
Well, the ever-verbal Parsons and Shepherd 16 seconds behind the leaders, searching for more power. The view looking back from Victory 77, Qatar 95 in their wake. There they are, 20 kilometres completed. But let us take another look at the start, and this really was quite something. Jotun were left behind when the flag went up, had early ground to make up. But then, while King of Shaves, Spirit of Norway, Victory 77 and Qatar 95 are all throwing their weight around on the first turn, Zaborowski and Tamberg put it all down on the outside. A truly inspired piece of power driving, not only delivering the lead, but one they have been able to increase steadily. Youngston and Curtis hanging in there, but that's about all. With King of Shaves, ooh, and problems there. Engine revs dying. Victory 77, only 5 seconds behind with the easiest of overtakes. Move into 3rd.
I've lost power. I've lost an engine.
And that's disappointment and frustration from the pit crew and James Shepherd, but none more so than Parsons himself for sure. The euphoria of yesterday's pole position success tempered by a very untimely breakdown indeed. The vision of a first Grand Prix win vanquished. Meanwhile, it's long lap time for number 10. The lap, let's remind ourselves, a 1 kilometre extension of the normal race lap at the island turn. Each team has to take 2. Should add around 12 seconds to a normal race lap, but won't make a great deal of difference today with the water being so calm. Had it been rough around the island, which is normal here, then it might have been interesting. So, with 10 on the long lap, Jotun increased the lead. And that's 95 taking the first of their long laps. Oh, and allowing 96 to move up to fourth. Foresti Suardi also on the long lap. Will remain in sixth, though, around 20 seconds ahead of Victory 7. So there won't be a change there. Let's look again at the magnificent battle then for fifth place on lap 1 between Qatar 96 and Foresti Suardi. Both using every ounce of their power. And Shirley actually clipping the turn boy in his quest to keep up. Remains in the sixth place at the 50-kilometre mark and able to break into the top 5 in spite of King Shay's retirement that has moved everyone up one place. Apart, of course, from leaders Jotun and Spirit of Norway. 7-11 are 8th. Nilsson and Georgie still struggling to create any real pace. Well, Parsonage is still coming to terms with his dilemma.
We believe it could be a transmission problem. We're not exactly sure. They said they started to lose power down to about 6,000 RPM and just pulled out. So, I mean, that's all the communication I've had with them.
And just after we were with them, 7 and 11 have retired as well. That's Nilsson and Georgie grinding to a halt. A great pity. So past the halfway point in this race then, Qatar 96 still running fourth. Last lap, 4 minutes, 34 seconds. Less than 10 seconds ahead of Qatar 95. And now onto their long lap, so themselves will drop a place. Abdullah Al-Salati and Lino De Biase inside them. There they are on the normal lap, able to move comfortably into fourth. They started the day together in the championship in second and third places respectively, and have stayed together virtually throughout this race. Foresti Suardi, though, remain uncomfortably close, as you saw there, just 5 seconds behind. Just one change in the running order then. 95, 28 seconds behind Victory 77, who in turn are 22 seconds behind Spirit of Norway and 45 seconds off the lead. And for the mathematicians, that means Zaborowski and Tanberg, number 90, have extended their lead to 14 seconds. Same number of long laps. It's looking very good indeed in the Jotun camp. Let's talk to team boss Andreas Ugland.
They kept their nerve and they really kept going on the outside. It was great to see. We have 300 people in the tent, head of Jotun, all the top management. Be absolutely excellent.
As Andreas Ugland said, it was the speed around the outside at the start that produced the killer blow. Let's allow ourselves one more look at the classic demonstration of outright power. No fear, one objective. Absolutely magnificent. Oh, back live, once again safely around the bridge turn. Zaborowski and Tanberg focus on the finish line. At the same time, no doubt, one eye on the wing mirrors as Jeltsin and Curtis continue to nibble away at their lead. Only the odd second or so at the moment, but as we reach the latter stages, any small mistake would be punished severely, as well they know. On the other hand, if the race finishes with the current positions, Spirit of Norway will head for round 5 with a healthy 19-point lead, and that is no small consideration. Victory 77 are still running third. Let's catch up with Nicolo Giorgi.
I'm really disappointed because after a couple of laps, the right engine exploded, blew up. I knew from the start that I didn't have the perfect setup for this kind of circuit because you know that my boat is suitable for the rough condition.
Well, no luck again, and expensive repairs for the likeable Italian-Norwegian alliance. And this looks to be a problem for Qatar. 95, losing speed on the way into the home turn, now limping off the circuit. The expressions that Qatar team managers may be telling the story that is in fact terminal. Abdullah Al-Salati and Lino De Biase, such a solid weekend up until now, unlike 96, who after all their mechanical demons now move into fourth. I guess they'd call that a bonus. Foresti Suardi move into the top 5 at last, and together with Victory 7, running over 30 seconds behind them, they're the only 6 boats still running. Not the best of days for technicians, you might say. Unless, of course, you happen to work on the Jotun outfit, in which case you will be more than happy. Race fastest lap, 4 minutes 18.89 seconds. Average speed 200 kilometres an hour. Surely now extinguishing any flickering ambitions of the great Spirit of Norway behind them, or indeed the might of the famous Victory team in third place. Qatar 96, little hope of winning having started on the second row of that grid, remember. Should now take enough from this race to keep them second overall in the championship. And that does not look good for Suresti Sawadi Roscioli fans. Number 8 slowing down, Victory 7 thundering up behind. It's going to be another breakdown to even up the numbers. 10 entered, 5 finished, and Nader bin Hindi and Ahmed Al Suwaidi shift into that 5th slot. While at the other end of the track, the celebrations are about to explode. Safely around the final bend and over the finish line, it's a fabulous first Grand Prix victory for Christian Zaborowski and Jorn Tamberg, ahead of Bjorn Yelston and Steve Curtis, Spirit of Norway, and a brilliant third for Jean-Marc Sanchez and Mohamed Al-Marie, Victory 77. The loyal Norwegian Powerboat fans have new Class 1 heroes to welcome. Whether or not they are ready to step into the shoes of the prodigious Yelston, we'll have to wait and see. But if you're a Norwegian and awaiting your first victory, can you imagine a better stage on which to announce your arrival? This will be a day Christian Zaborowski and Jorn Tamberg will surely never forget. As we said earlier, an estimated 150,000 fans turned up to experience the return of Class 1 here, and they couldn't have been rewarded in a more appropriate way.
The flag was go, we was actually a little bit late in the first meter, and when we started to catch up, we had a little bit more top speed than the other boats, and when we passed Spirit of Norway in the first turn, it was just perfect. It's the best moment in my life.
What about this reception, this crowd when you get back?
That is big, very big. All this audience and never seen anything like it before.
I expect you remember when you won your first Grand Prix in Norway. How did it feel?
Oh, very special. And I also remember when I won my first one. So, yeah, very special. And I think Andreas and the guys worked very hard for a long time. So, good for them. And it's a special feeling for us, you know, being here in Arendal, and it's a long tradition and a long history to be here.
And so the charge up the leaderboard continues. After no points in round 1, Jotun are third after round 4. Just 3 points behind Sheikh Hassan's impressive Qatar team. An outstanding weekend in every imaginable sense. The huge crowds, the hospitality, new winners of pole position, and now new Grand Prix winners. This is getting to be one hell of a season. Roll on, Plymouth.